Hello there. Welcome to my Facebook Live. My name is Dara Walter of Pickled Peppers Creative Cafe at pickledpepperscreative.com. And Thursdays are the days that I come to you for crafty fun. So, welcome. Come on in. So I'm going to just chat a little bit while I'm waiting for people to find me in their news feed. Happy Thursday, or happy Friday Eve as I sometimes like to call it. How are you? Welcome, come on in. How are things going for you this week? Are you having a good week? And more importantly, are you having a happy week? Or a crafty week. I said a happy week. I want you to have a happy week, but are you having a crafty week? I'm thinking happy, but crafty. Are you having a crafty week? Hi, Julie. I see Julie has popped on. How are you? Happy Thursday. Happy Crafty Thursday. I hope you're doing good. Super excited that you're here. So yeah, let me know if you are having a crafty week, if you've had any crafting this week, or if you plan to have any in the upcoming weekend. It is always on my agenda. I don't care how small it is, and it is not always paper crafting either. It could be any little crafty thing. It's in my blood. I don't know. I just have to do something crafty. So I also like to hear when you're crafty too. I see Beth is watching. Hi, Beth. Happy Crafty Thursday. Thank you. Happy and crafty, Julie says. Amy is watching. Hi, Amy. Happy Crafty Thursday. Super excited that you guys are here. Hey, today is December 8th. So I feel like December has really crept up on me. I feel like the holiday season has crept up on me. Of course, I've had a lot going on in my personal life, but I feel like I've blinked and here it is. So I feel anxious inside to get holiday crafting done. And a little bit of a secret, I still have cards to make that I have to get in the mail. So anyways, I don't know if any of you feel that way, but I certainly feel that way, and I feel the rush to craft. So tonight we can go ahead and turn down kind of quickly. Let me just remind you, if you are joining me live tonight and you're going to create live with us tonight, I have a cute, warm, not Christmas project to share with you. So excited about that too. We've been doing a lot of Christmas, right? I'm super excited to share that with you. If you pop on and you watch live with us, make sure that you say hello and chat with me in the comments. I may not get to your comment right away because when I'm creating, I am paying attention to what I'm showing you and what I'm telling you. So I'm a little bit slow sometimes in that regard, but I love talking with you. So do chat with me, and I will answer your questions and respond to your comments. And if you are watching the replay, let me know that as well. At the end of the video, I will upload it to YouTube so you can watch over on my YouTube channel as well. There will be some information in the description above. I'll modify it with a little bit of information regarding the products that you see tonight, a link to my online store, a link to my mailing list, a link to my YouTube channel, lots of links. So there will be some information above for you. Beth says, me too, been too tired. Yes, Beth, I do understand that as well. I think all of the up and down with the weather, and for me traveling, I've been tired as well. I push myself though when it comes to crafting. I feel like it is something that I have to do. So I find energy for it, even if it is just something small, gluing something together. I just have to do it. So I hope you get your mojo back. That's the moral of that story, and I hope you're feeling better. All right, so why don't we go ahead. Hi, Marie. Happy Crafty Thursday. Welcome, welcome. So excited to see you here. So excited to see all of you here. And actually, if this is your first time being here, don't be shy. Let us know. Say hello. We are very friendly here, and we like to welcome people to craft with us. So make sure that you say hello, say hi in the comments, and we'll go ahead and get turned down now. I'll share with you the products that we're going to be using, and then we'll make a super simple but super cute not Christmas card. You ready? Okay, let's go. Here we go. Last week I turned you down really quickly because I've discovered that my device is really squeaky, and I didn't know, but I happened to hear it, so I tried to do it fast so I didn't squeak in your ear. But anyways, here we go. Let's go ahead and turn down. All righty. I think we're good. Are we looking straight here? Let's tip us a little bit. Give me a thumbs up if you think this looks good and you're seeing good. I want to make sure that you see what we're creating, because I want you to make it too. It will make my heart so very happy. Thank you guys for the thumbs up and the loves, and the hearts. Those make me very happy as well. But yeah, if you recreate what we're creating tonight, I will be super, super excited about that as well. So we are using the Ringed with Nature stamp set tonight, and a little bit of die cutting. Actually, I have, let me go ahead and bring that in. We're going to do some cutting as well. So let me bring in the cutting mat, just because when there are score lines or that are more than a normal score, I just kind of like to show you what I'm doing so that you know it is simple and easy, and you can do it as well. Also, I wanted to remind you, I almost forgot, I wanted to remind you that the last chance in the clearance rack is still going on. So if you haven't had a chance to pop over to my online store and look at some of the deals going on there, the link will be above. So don't forget to do that as well. So we actually are not doing much die cutting tonight. I have circles. We're going to use 2 circles. I have an evening evergreen and a basic white circle die cut. So those are all the die cutting that we're doing tonight. So nothing really over the top. And then we have the Ringed with Nature. This is super, super cute. This actually, you guys have seen this before. It comes with it's called a hybrid. So it comes with a embossing folder that gives you the tree rings. So that's the Ringed with Nature. And then these are actually mushrooms. They look like the little finger cots that your mom used when she sewed your clothes when you were little. Did you guys have moms that sewed, you know, the little finger cots? That's what they look like to me, but there are some stems there. They're actually mushrooms, a little cottage, and you know, there's an acorn, some other poinsettia and nature-like things. And then a couple of cute sentiments, thinking of you, get well soon, just for you. There is a Merry Christmas there, so you can use this for Merry Christmas if you want to, hence the poinsettia, right? And then love and warmth and happy anniversary. So it's pretty versatile, and super excited to show you. It's a fun fold card, so I hope you like it. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm talking a lot. All right, let's go ahead and get started with our card. So I have here a piece of soft succulent cardstock. So we will be using the soft succulent cardstock. And then I have, let me show you the designer series paper that we're using tonight is the Lovely in Linen. So it's called Lovely in Linen, and it looks very whimsical and cottage-like to me, and we're going to be using that little cottage stamp in that stamp set. So I wanted to pick something that I thought paired well with that. So let me just show you a little bit of what's here. This looks like the wallpaper we used to have in our house, but here's one of the patterns, and it's reversed. If you can't see this very well, it's Night of Navy. And this is probably Melon. Hey, why don't I look? Because the fantastic thing about Stampin' Up! And the designer series paper or the pattern paper is it lets you know on the reverse side. Lets you know on the reverse sides what colors are there so that you know how to pair it. So there's Evening Evergreen, Night of Navy, Pale Papaya, the Soft Succulent, and Sweet Sorbet. So that's what that is, Sweet Sorbet. Let's just kind of flip through it a little bit, show you what's there front and back, and then we'll get started really quickly. There's a lot of Night of Navy there, so that's nice too. I don't know why. It's winter time, so I think that the Night of Navy is nice. All right, so that's that. Oh, there's a lot of Soft Succulent there too, which is nice. Ooh, look at that. This is the Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent. So that's what we're using in terms of designer series paper. Let's get started creating. Let me let you in on the dimensions of the designer series paper that we're using today, and there's a little bit more cardstock too, and then we'll get around to cutting our card base, and I'll show you that as well. But we have a piece of basic white. This is 2.5 by 5 1/4. Oh, thank you. Amy says she loves this paper. Amy, I love this paper too. It is just really warm and cozy. That's what I think of when I see it, warm and cozy. In terms of designer series paper, we have a piece of 5 1/4 by 4, and you notice that I have various patterns. So I used maybe 2, 3 pieces of the designer series paper. I have another piece that is 2.5 by 5 1/4. I have 2 pieces that are 1 by 5 1/4. And then I have an additional piece that is 4 1/4 by 1 1/4. I like to stick to the 1 pack of designer series paper because then I know all of the papers that I've chosen are going to coordinate with each other, and I don't have to do any of the headwork. Right? It's already done with me. It's one of the things that I really adore about Stampin' Up! We do the matchy-matchy very, very, very well. All right, so for the card base, we are going to cut it at 11 by 5 1/2. That means that we're only going to get 1 card from a single piece of cardstock. Normally when you're making an A4, I think it's A4, Julie Parker, is it A4? I get mixed up with the A4 and the A5. When you're making an A4 card, typically you can get 2 cards from 1 single sheet of cardstock, but we're cutting this a little bit differently, so we're only going to get the 1. So it's 8.5 by 11 already. We're going to cut it then on the 8.5 inch side at 5 1/2 because that's where we need it to be. Our final piece of cardstock, we need to be 11 by 5 1/2. So we're going to go ahead and cut it at 5 1/2. It's already 11. Okay, we're going to set this aside for a moment because we do need another piece. This card is going to have a belly band, so we're going to take the remainder and we're going to cut a 1.5 inch piece, 1.5 by 9 1/2. So you saw me swing the arm out of my paper trimmer, and that's because we need this to be 9 1/2. So we need that additional measuring space. The piece that's remaining here is 3 inches, so we're actually going to get 2 of the belly bands if we want to. We're going to cut it at 1.5. So let's go ahead and do this. We only need one, so we'll put the other one aside for another card if we'd like. So this is going to be our belly band. Let's set this aside. We're going to use that later, and let's bring back in the card base. So remember, the card base is 11 by 5.5. We're going to do a little bit of scoring. So I'm going to put the 11-inch side towards the top of my trimmer. Let's see if I can get in camera a little more here. The 11-inch side is going to go up because we are going to score up and down on the 5.5-inch side. Okay, so we're only going to make 3 scores. We only need 3 of them. We're going to score at 4 1/4 of an inch. So let's make our first score line. And then we need to score at 7 inches. So we'll slide this over to 7. And then one final score at 9 3/4. And I think this is called like a triple accordion or triple accordion or something like that. That's what this fancy fold is called. So 9 3/4 of an inch for the last fold. Let's make sure I get it right. I have a little glare from my ring light. There we go. So that's all the scoring that we need to do. We can go ahead and put our paper trimmer away now because we've already cut our designer series paper. But I'll show you the little arm. You see the arm there? See how that goes? And it just tucks away right here, but it extends when you need it. So that's fantastic. Let me go ahead and put it away because I think we're done with it. And now we're just going to fold and burnish on our score lines. So let me show you. We're going to start scoring or start folding on the first score line where you have that smaller section. Let's hold it this way. Maybe it'll make a little more sense. So we have the smaller section, we have 2 bigger sections, and then the largest section. Did we get all of that? Smaller, 2 medium size, and 1 large. So we're going to start folding with the small side, and we want to fold it back. We're going to flip it back, and then grab our bone folder. I believe in bone folders. If you don't have one, get one and keep it in your repertoire. You need it. And then we're just going to fold accordion style. So we'll fold back and forth like a fan fold. We'll give it a nice score, and then we'll go backward again. Let's flip it over so we can give it a nice good crease. There we go. So it's like a fan fold or an accordion fold. When you're done, this is what you have. So you see the 3 little sections there? That's what you want. And this is the bases of our card. Now let's go ahead and grab some double-sided adhesive and we'll start adding our designer series paper. So we have our circles. We're going to do a little bit of stamping there, but let's bring in all of our designer series paper. Also, the 1 piece of white cardstock that we have as well. So we're going to start with the 2 thinnest pieces of designer series paper, and I'm going to use the same pattern for both. So this is the pattern that I've selected. It's the Sweet Sorbet, the one that looks like the wallpaper in my grandma's house when I was growing up. And they're the thinnest, so if you guessed correctly, they're going to go on that small section. So I'm going to put one here on the front, and then I'm going to flip it over and put the same pattern on the reverse side. So let's do that first, shall we? Grab a little bit of double-sided adhesive here. This looks intimidating, I know, because there are a lot of components, but really it's not. There are just a lot of pieces of designer series paper, and not even a lot really. I think there's like six or seven, something like that. That's a little bit crooked. Okay, that will bother me. That's more than a little crooked. Let's move it over. If it were a tiny bit crooked, I'd take it without much, but if it's a lot of bit crooked, it will bother me. Okay, and then we'll flip this over. So on the reverse side, we're going to do the same thing. So let's do that. A little double-sided adhesive on the side that you don't want showing, and then I'm just adhering it, leaving an even border around all four sides. All right, so that's what we have now. Okay, next we're going to take our 2.5 by 5 1/4 piece of designer series paper, and it's going to go right in that next space. You can use whichever pattern you would like to. Here is the side with the Night of Navy, and that looks really good. Do you guys think that looks good? I think that looks really good. I'm going to use the soft succulent side, however, so let's go ahead and add some adhesive, and we'll plop this right down. And then we're going to flip again, and we have the smaller section here. We're going to take our basic white piece, and that's what goes here. So it goes opposite the designer series paper of the same size. Let's go ahead and add some double-sided adhesive. And we'll glue that down really quickly. And actually, this is our mat for the sentiment. So that's where we're going to put our sentiment. Ideally, if you're going to put a sentiment, it would be better to stamp your sentiment and then attach that. However, I'm a little bit of a rebel and a daredevil, I should say. And so I do it afterwards. All right, and then we have our last piece, which is 5 1/4 by 4. It goes in the large portion of the reverse there. So let's go ahead and glue that down really quickly. Super simple. All right, here we go. And this is kind of a common, I've seen this card, I've made it before, it's been around a while, but I just love the way that you're able to incorporate so much designer series paper in so many colors. You see that? So many patterns, I should say. All right, so this is the base of our card. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of stamping. I'm going to bring my stamp set back in. We have one piece of designer series paper left. This is 4 1/4 by 1 1/4, and that's going to be for our belly band. I'll show you in a minute what we're going to do with that. But let's go ahead and grab our two circle die cuts. We're going to stamp on the basic white, and the other, again, of course, is the Evening Evergreen. We're going to set that aside too, as well as our card. We'll do a little bit of stamping, and when I say a little bit of stamping, I promise it is just a tiny bit of stamping. We're going to do that cottage that I told you about, and we'll actually do our sentiment for the inside as well. But we're going to do the little cottage here, and you can see that the roof and the body of the house are separate pieces, and that's because normally your house and your roof are different colors. So, and then the sentiment, I'm going to use the thinking of you. So let's go ahead. I have chosen For the house, Pale Papaya, because it matches our designer series paper, of course, as well as the Evening Evergreen for the roof. And I'm going to start with the lighter color. So let's go ahead and open our stamp pad. And I've mounted the house of the body part of the cottage. I'll just tap, tap, tap here. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp this towards the extreme bottom of our circle. So let's go ahead and do that. Good. And then, there we go. There's our cottage. And then let's go ahead and let's cover this up and stamp the roof. So I'm going to bring in Evening Evergreen and add a little bit of ink. And then I'm going to put the roof, I want it to touch if I can. And if it doesn't touch, it actually looks good. I'm aiming for the touch because normally when I stamp this, if I try to leave a little space between the house and the roof, I'm not so great at it. And so I'm going to try to touch the rooftop slightly to the body of the cottage. Voila! Look at there, would you? I think that is almost perfect. Thank you. Thanks for the thumbs up. Oh my gosh, I have a little ink or something on my hands. Okay, but I think that looks pretty darn good. So I'm going to bring in the Evening Evergreen. We will just attach our stamped layer right to the Evening Evergreen circle, so it gives it kind of a border. And then before we attach it, no, we'll wait. Let's go ahead and put that aside. And we'll finish this up. Okay. So let's bring in our 9.5 by 1.5 inch belly band. And I'll show you how, oh no, we want to stamp the sentiment. Let's stamp the sentiment first. We need that Evening Evergreen again. Let's put a sentiment in here. And again, I'm using the Thinking of You. And we do want to do that before we do the belly band. I'm going to open it all the way up because if I leave it folded and stamped, we're going to get the raised part of the rest of the card there. And we don't want to do that because then it won't stamp right. Already as it is, I'm using photopolymer stamps. And you notice that I don't have my Stampin' Pierce mat. You should actually have a little bit of cushion when you're stamping. Oh boy, that's a little messy, but we won't worry about it. We've gotten our sentiment. Now we can go ahead with the belly band. Let's close this up because I'm a messy ink person. Okay, so we'll fold our card closed again. When you go to do the belly band, you're just going to take your 1.5 by 9.5 inch piece of cardstock and lay it in the center, kind of with even sides. And then you're going to fold it with your fingers. So fold right at the edge of the card on this side, and then do it again on the other side. You can use your fingers to sharpen the crease, or you can use your bone folder. I'm okay with my fingers, so you see what we have there. And then when you flip it over, you want the two edges to overlap, and I'm actually going to cut it down just a little bit. So I'm going to take my scissors and just cut maybe about an inch and a quarter or so off the edge there. It doesn't matter. You don't have to cut it either if you don't want to. And then make sure that you line up both of the edges so that they overlap. And then you'll add adhesive to the underside here and the outside here. And let's see, let's grab a little bit of stronger adhesive. We're going to use the Stampin' Seal Plus. So I'm going to put a band here. You see where I did that? Let me lift and show you. And then I'm going to put a band on the inside here. So we'll open it right up, right on the edge. That was actually over the edge. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and fold it over on itself. Remember, we want to overlap. There we go. So there's our belly band, and that will just slide right on and off, but it will keep all three layers of your accordion flat for mailing, as flat as it can be, right? Okay, and then finally, to finish our card, we are going to adhere our stamped image with some Stampin' Dimensionals. So we're going to give it a little bit of dimension, and I'm actually going to add the dimensionals to the belly band. That way I'm sure that they'll get on right. If I tried to put them on the back of the reverse of the circle and I got it too high or too low, then it would stick to the card, and we don't want that. So I'll put them right on the belly band. We'll use our pick tool and remove the adhesive backing. And then we'll plop this right down. So there are going to be no words on the front of our card. Just our cute little cottage that I've gotten inky fingers and inked over. I'll fix it later. But so here is our card. And then we're going to do two things. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you so much. We're going to do two things. Of course, we have to give it a little bit of bling. And I have champagne rhinestones because they look like the pale papaya on the cottage. So I'm gonna go ahead and just sprinkle a few around. Let's put the smaller one on the bottom. We'll do two small ones and one large one. I don't know why. There is no method to that madness at all. It's just what felt good to me. So here's our finished card. Isn't that cool? How much designer series paper do you have laying around? Although this designer series paper is super, super cute and cozy. Here's our finished card. Thank you so much for the love and the thumbs up. Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate it. Let's get the belly band back here. And then the last thing that we're going to do is something that I like to do and I haven't done for a while, but we're going to decorate the envelope. And I'm going to show you how super simple and cute that is. Let's use the, well, since we have the Sweet Sorbet, let's use the Sweet Sorbet pattern. Let's grab an envelope. Oh, here we go. We'll grab an envelope and the paper trimmer. Let's see, I'll tell you what size you need it to be. So the envelope is about just under 6 inches. So I'm going to cut a piece of, let's cut a piece of 6 inch, and then I think it's 6 by 6. And we'll cut it again at about 2.5, I think. Let's make sure before I tell you that. Yeah, that's good. So 6 by 2.5. We're going to take a 6 by 2.5 piece of designer series paper. I think that should be sufficient to decorate the flap of our envelope. We could stamp on the envelope too. That would be super, super cute. And then we're going to take our double-sided adhesive, run a band of adhesive along the fold of the flap, and then I just like to go around, all the way around, and then just a little in the center. So let me show you what I did. You see what I did there? And then I'm going to attach the designer series paper almost to the edge of the fold of the flap. Almost right on it. I don't want to go over top of it because we still need it to fold, right? There we go. And then we'll flip it over so you can see where the excess is. You see that? And we'll just take our scissors and snip off the excess. And then we have an envelope that matches our card. And like I said, if you want to be really crafty, then you can take, I would take the mushrooms that are in that stamp set because I absolutely adore them. And I would stamp the mushrooms on the front of the envelope as well. You wouldn't have to do both. This actually will finish it off nicely. And there we go. Isn't that cute? Look at the flap of your envelope there. So let's see how it matches our card. Thank you so much. Thank you for the thumbs up and the love. Isn't that the cutest? Cute, cute, cute. All right. Well, let's go ahead and turn up so we can say goodnight. I hope that you liked tonight's card. I hope you love this designer series paper and the stamp set. Remember that we used the Ringed with Nature. There are those mushrooms that I'm talking about. The cute sentiments is just really super, super cute. The designer series paper is cute and cottagey, which is why I chose it. So I hope you like it and you make it. And if you do, tag me and let me know. All right, let's go ahead and say good night. Hello, beautiful crafty people. Thank you so much for crafting with me tonight. Thank you for showing up and allowing me into your life and your space to create. It was fun. You guys keep me crafty. You keep me creating. I love being here with you. So thank you so very much. I will be back here again with you next week to create something. Who knows what I'm going to come up with, but I will be here to create with you again next week. So have a fantastic weekend. Good night, Anna. Have a fantastic weekend, you guys. Good night. Good night. I will see you next week. Get crafty this weekend. See you soon. Bye-bye.